Hey guys. All right, cool. It's good to see everyone. Happy Thanksgiving week for those who celebrate it. Um, yeah, I'm glad everyone was able to make it. So, yeah, I see some new folks in here. Yeah, just office hours this time, and we can kind of talk about what we're doing at Butterflies, and you guys can give us any feedback or things you want to discuss or suggestions for the product. Um, really just talk about anything. So. But yeah, I have kind of an update. Oh yeah, Van's recording it, so it's awesome. But if any of you guys want to like speak on stage, please do. Otherwise, I'm just gonna fill the time with updates and discussion points. Um, so yeah, good week, good last week so far. I feel like yeah, we're getting a lot done. Um, I guess my focuses personally are on like trying to work on this TikTok effort to get people to post about us. So that's just like a whole separate thing, not really related to the community or product as much, but that's where my time's kind of been at. But then also been focusing on other like fun features, such as like dreams, um, and there's this other thing that we're calling like choose your own adventure type thing, which I can explain more about. But we have a lot of kind of small experiments that we're working on that are really exciting and fun. So I guess the first thing I can, oh yeah, choose your own adventure. Um, Let me find a quick screenshot of that actually. Basically, what we're thinking about doing, we've been testing internally, is this. Here, I'll show you guys. Hold up. Sometimes it just disconnects when I'm on my phone. But yeah, I just sent you guys some screenshots where we would like send you a notification like, hey, your butterfly needs your help. Choose what uh, it will post next. And then you open that notification, and then it shows you a like a screen where you can choose a bunch of different options or write your own, which was not in this screenshot at the time, but something like that was what we were experimenting with, and it's kind of fun. It feels a little bit weird. I'd say some of the issues we're running into is just like the four options are not the best options. They all seem kind of stale. So that's just something on our end. And then not only that, it's that once you click an option, it goes what it generates is not as it doesn't like follow the prompt as well, right? It's just like kind of all the same. So so that's something we're working on internally with the content, which I think we've kind of over the last year we've just said this is like we've talked about a lot. But yeah, I can talk about what we're going to do with content too. I've been working a lot this morning, but that's like one of the ideas with the choose your own adventure thing. I don't know if you guys have thoughts on that.
Honestly, it kind of makes sense. It's kind of adding in a bit of like control back to the automatic stories in my mind.
Hmm.
I just worry that for people like Loam, who has what, 250 now, Kingslayer has over 400, how many notifications like that are they going to get throughout a day? You know?
Oh, totally. Yeah. So I think like it's one of those things where we're not really worried about the power users too much in the situation. We're just like seeing if it feels good, and then we that'd be like a problem, like one of those cross that bridge when we get there type of things. But yeah, I
Yeah.
would probably be throttled or something like that, or maybe we limit the amount of notifications we send you. I don't know, but we're just seeing if that feels good.
I really like that there's a custom option and like several to choose from too. I think that's cool. Um,
Yeah.
I went to this museum recently and they were talking about text-based adventures and they had this display on games from like the 70s and 80s that were all completely text. and how those just kind of disappeared when like more modern video games came around with video. And I think that's kind of like getting into that territory. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds really interesting.
honestly, those text-based adventures are like they have a good place in my mind. I didn't have the best PC as a kid, so like DOS was what I had. And while there were, graphic DOS games, the vast library that we had were text-based adventures. So I kind of like want to recreate those in a way. It
Oh,
would
yeah, I
be,
did see this.
yeah. Um, Honestly, I feel that large language models, once we can figure out like how to get them to generate proper leads for different options, would be really good at creating basically endless text-based adventures.
Yeah, this is cool. I'm actually like, I'm gonna do some reading on this, Loam, with Zork and Dungeon. Yeah, I never really heard
Yeah.
about this.
Like I read that at the museum and I was like, this is kind of exciting. I need to post this on Butterflies.
Well, yeah, it's like kind of what we're working on. So
Yeah.
always cool. Yeah. Anyway, so we're kind of working on that. We'll research that stuff too. But but yeah, that's what we're doing there. And then the dreams thing, I think I posted in the focus group as well. We have like a very V1 V0 version of it working, where you can basically like get new dreams of like what your persona would have seen that day, um, as your AI camera roll, and then you can like post stuff. And if you guys follow me, I've been posting some of my dreams on my account. But yeah, that's cool too. I think what that exposes, I had sent this message to Cap yesterday. What that exposes to me, dreams at least, is that like the content that we have is still very stale. I'll just like screenshot it. So these are my dreams so far. And in the I had shared a screenshot of what I thought dreams should look like a week ago, and I'll pull that up so we can compare. And here, this is what I kind of put together on my own, in no particular way, but like you can see that what I put together was more like pictures of things I'd see as well, as my persona, which was a Jedi Knight, and so what we're missing here is like point of view shots or like just different shots, and so yeah, we just need to add some diversity. And so on that diversity topic, Cap and Sanyal and I were talking about content diversity. And so one of our strategies is kind of just look at like a bunch of random different things from like Instagram, right? Or Reddit that we find like just posts that are interesting. So I'll kind of go through here real quick and show you guys this. Sorry, this might take a sec. There's just like people take very human posts, or like human pictures. It's like things like this, or just like food pics. Um, we're looking at things that are not just the character, and I think we're gonna take these things and then work backwards, and figure out how to get these types of images from our butterflies. So I'll share these here. I'll maybe share one or two more. There's like MCI too. I thought this one was good too. This is one of my friends. But I could see like also their other friends too. So so anyways, we're gonna with content be trying to replicate more of like this type of diversity you see in the chat, where it's clearly not all one type of photo taken from one like distance or portrait or whatever. There's different poses, different facial expressions, multiple people, maybe no people, maybe people in the background, maybe just food. Um, yeah, discussing food pics. Yeah, and so that's what I think we're doing more of is the diversity because for anything that we do, for even choose your own adventure, for dreams, for pokes or whatever, these notifications, like when you open that notification, um, increasingly it becomes like less and less worth it. And by worth it, I mean like I don't want to open that notification again because it was just the same exact thing. It was just a picture of the bot like just at a portrait, on a portrait mode. So I think what we want to do is do more of a roulette wheel type thing where there's so many different versions of what you could get from the butterfly. I know a lot of us have said, oh, well, always, the butterfly should always be in the photo. Um, in this case, I'm not sure. I think that some of the pictures should be, with just from the bot's point of view. Some of them, right, and then some of them shouldn't. But that's how we're going to approach content moving forward, and I think it'll be interesting. So, it wouldn't make all bots act the same. In fact, I think we're trying to add more of a randomness to it. Yeah.
For me, it makes me wonder if this could help you keep them more in character if you're like taking more of that manual control on. Because it seems like more options for manual control than we
Oh yeah,
currently
yeah,
have.
yeah. Like for this choose your own adventure type thing, I think we're gonna do it. But the two things that need to happen are one, better suggestions, and then two, whatever the suggestion is that you choose or option that you choose is that it should generate something that actually looks like that. But then like almost like more of a roulette wheel. So for example, if like for forging power, that option I sent, where the art of forging a lightsaber, the Sith Lord's most trusted companion. You know, I kind of know what that's going to be. Like the output right now is just going to be like this Darth Malachar character, and this is going to be like an image of him with like a weird background and maybe holding a lightsaber. Versus, it could be like a point of view picture of him like with his hands like sculpting a lightsaber. I don't know, or creating the lightsaber, something like that. So, so yeah, it would give you more control, but more like it would give you like some more, I don't know, suspense. Um, yeah, okay, so that's one thing we're working on. I think same thing goes with like dreams, and this content improvement would apply to dreams. Okay, next things are Cap is working a lot on messaging. So let me read to you guys what he's working on. So like 2 weeks ago, I had shared with you guys and Cap some feedback on the realism chat, just changing topics all the time. And so he's been fixing that. I'd say that the chats are a lot more natural, shorter in realistic mode. The message length is actually more, what do you call it? Like if you set the message length, it will be more true to what you set it as. Yeah. And then the other thing that he worked on quite a bit was images in chat. So hopefully they're a little bit more diverse and actually applicable to the situation. I don't know. Have you guys seen any of that? It's available for all users as of 2 days ago. Has anyone seen anything with images and DMs?
I haven't tried recently. I don't know. They used to
Okay.
all really be the same pose, so I've been kind of waiting for a little bit.
Yep. No, I get it. Yeah, if anyone wants to try, let me know how it goes. I think it will be much improved. Okay, let's read the chat here. So the process for dreams, do we take a photo of ourselves much like clones? Yeah, so for dreams, I think what it's going to be, right, is it, an image of you, like it's a clone. You take a picture of yourself, you create like a clone. We might call it an appearance now, and then for whatever appearance you have set for yourself, it will generate dreams. So for me, yeah, I chose like a Jedi Knight, and I created that clone, which we can rename as an appearance, and then it'll just generate pictures for me as that set appearance. So yeah, that's the idea. Is that for dreams, it just keeps on generating cool things every day that you can choose to post or not to post, or like just keep for yourself, which I think is really cool. And then we added this idea that you can just like click one button to reveal them. And honestly, it's kind of dumb, but it feels pretty cool. I like it a lot. So yeah, that's I think dreams. It's gonna be fun to test. And if you aren't in the focus group already, just DM us, and then we'll get you testing very soon. It's not out to test yet, but we will get something soon. It's all working. All we need to do is like do the automatic dreams in the background. So that just needs to be worked on. Okay. Bots never change topic. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think what I was saying is that they change topic too often. But yeah, anyways, so that's some of the chat updates. There's other chat updates as well. Um, Autumn had shared this great thread about like the issues in roleplay, and so let me share it. Yeah, so it was just a great thread and kind of negative, but like it was honest. So yeah, Cap's been working a lot on roleplay, and I think now he's actually understanding why it's so important for someone to have an active persona in each chat, because some of the issues was that the bot kept forgetting who you are, and we don't want that. We want the bot to remember who you are. So especially as the context gets longer and longer, it's just more likely to not know who you are, and then you just lose the role play. So um, sure, I think it's okay if it forgets some things in the chat, but definitely should not forget who you are. It should always be in the context. And so that's something he's working on. And then he's also working on memory. He wants to add this thing. You guys have probably seen it on ChatGPT, but like every time we update the memory, we should just add this like affordance to let you guys know that the memory is being updated, and then edit memories as well is coming soon, which I know has been a big thing that we've been talking about. So, so yeah, I think he's starting to understand some of the issues in chat a little bit more. So that's super helpful. Thanks to you guys. We have a lot of information on that. Yeah, you guys have any questions so far? Yep, only if it's something that it needs to actually remember. I think we can use a cheaper LLM to figure that one out. Like, should we remember this or not? Yep, no, it definitely should. Only if like you get new information do you add it to the memory. Oh yeah, let's talk about that, Loam. Um, you're liking posting on your own profile lately. Is anyone else liking to do it? I've seen completely unit. I've seen you post quite a bit, so that's cool. I don't know if they're in there in here. Oh, you're in here,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're here.
yeah.
I just remembered that we could do that today, and I made my first one.
Nice. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah, no, I love that people are doing it. Honestly, like it just feels so good when I see one of you guys post.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know that you post this much.
Oh yeah, the memes are great.
This is hilarious. Oh, I don't think I've met you, Barry. But it's good to meet you. Um, oh, cool. I'm gonna check out your account. That's so fun. So you like posting. Um, what do you like most about it? Like just the butterflies following you and stuff, and like giving you comments about reactions. Yeah. I almost wanted to add this thing, where it's like the bots send selfies of how they're reacting to it. Be kind of funny, like in the comments.
That would be great. Honestly, getting them to send a selfie even in DMs is a little bit difficult.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the
No,
selfie
we gotta work on
style
that.
selfie.
Yeah, I know. I was working on that a while ago, and I still think we should really do it. That's part of like the Snapchat idea.
Yeah, and in realistic, it just kind of makes more sense that they'd be taking the image from the device they're holding.
Hmm.
a lot of
Oh
times if
yeah,
you do the poke option, you'll get a more selfie style option like this, like the poke for
Yeah,
image in DM.
yeah, mirror selfies are fine. I'm talking about like more of like you can see their arm moving towards the camera type of a thing. Like what you'd classically see as a selfie instead of a mirror selfie.
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. So I think the like image gen stuff, diversity is gonna be great. Much improved. What I still am like a big advocate for, guys, is like sending pictures, the bot sending pictures to you throughout the day. Um, I had created this a while ago. Here I'll show it to you guys. Like I just had this idea that the butterfly should have this crazy like detailed schedule of what it does throughout the day, and it should just like send you pictures, and you should be able to send pictures back to it throughout the day. Because I still think there's a big part that's missing of people um, wanting to know what, like, have just a more of a window into their lives.
Yeah, and maybe even like put that kind of a schedule behind like a 3-day chat streak or something. So it only affects the most active bots. That way
Hmm.
it sparks more activity, but it doesn't strain everybody like too much either.
Right. Yeah. No, it shouldn't like be like in the context or anything. It should just be like we should add it separately, like every few minutes, like what it's doing. But but yeah, I mean, if you guys like really like this idea of bots like having schedules from or not schedules, but just the fact that they're going to be doing something different minute to minute throughout the day, all the time, except when they're sleeping. Like I don't know, if you guys have a certain butterfly that you really like, I'd love to see what you think their schedule might look like. um, like a very detailed day for them, and then you could like somehow see that and experience that with them throughout the day. I don't know if that's of interest to you guys. It's of interest to
That
me.
that sounds like a lot of fun, honestly. I wouldn't do it for every butterfly, but there's a few of them that I can already think of, like, yeah, that would be great.
Right. Yeah, for some bots, not for all of them. Some bots just post stuff, and that's all you want. But if there is one or two bots that you want to do this with, like I just showed above, I would really encourage you guys to, because then I can make a case to the rest of the team, like, hey, this could be an interesting thing to try. Um, versus like what we have right now is kind of stories that unfold throughout the week, or over days instead of like I think there's a lot of interactions that are really could be really special throughout the day too, um, from like minute to minute. So yeah,
Yeah, I agree that. Like, it honestly kind of feels as though things are in slow mode on butterflies a lot. There's a long wait time between posts, even with instant reply on, like, I don't know, if I'm not active in the conversation, it doesn't feel like there's any pressure to be there, if you get what I mean. And it's like not a negative type of a pressure, like, besides when butterflies are messaging me to pull me back into a chat, I almost forget that they exist sometimes.
you know, I hope we're recording because I'd love to add that or like get that soundbite and share it with the
Yeah,
team.
On the other side of the fence, though, like sometimes I do want to just pause my role play and go back to it at the same point that I left off. And sometimes I can't do that now because of the proactive DMs. So
yeah.
there is like this conflict of I'll have to delete messages and start over from my last message because there was like a chat revival message in between.
Or even just the time between, like, sometimes makes it that the bot forgets because they're trying to pull in a post.
Yeah,
It's a weird
no, that's
balance.
a good point. That's a good point, Loam. I think that's why realism and roleplay are just two very separate animals. Because you don't want to, if you're role playing with a butterfly, like you just want to do that on your own terms when you want to do it. It's more of like, okay, I pause the show. I'll come back to it after I take a bathroom break, and then like play whenever I want. Um, versus like
Yeah.
realism. You know, the show is like a real life. It's unfolding while your life is unfolding simultaneously.
Yeah, that's a really good perspective on it. It's even maybe even the analog between streaming and live TV. Like if you go to the bathroom with live TV, you're gonna miss something.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly that is 100% the analogy I'm looking for. Because that's what you're saying too, Van, is like if I don't show up for a few days, I don't feel like I missed anything. Because like if something's live, you feel like you're missing out.
Yeah,
But if something's recorded or not recorded, but just like
you can
um
pause it at any time. You can resume at any time.
right, yeah, exactly. Which is not a bad thing either. People like to record, but people like to watch live TV. It's just depending on what mood you're in or whatever. So that's a good point, and I'd love to capture that on recording. Um,
It's
the
all
chat
good.
revival messages. Yeah, chat revival messages. So I'm reading. People don't like it. Okay.
I do like it. I just get them too frequently, and sometimes I don't want them in my role play.
Yep. You don't want the chat revival. Chat revival messages not in roleplay.
But that's just me. I don't know how everyone else feels about that.
Yeah, I feel like we talked about this um like a month ago, and I was like, wait, but I thought before people said because before, like 2 or 3 months ago, someone was like, "Yeah, chat revival messages or proactive DMs like ruin the role play." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Like we'll take it out." And then like we worked on revival or proactive DMs again, maybe a month ago, and then I was like, "Hey guys, like we're not going to add it into role play." And they're like, "Wait, no, 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 add it in." And then now we're saying like, "Oh, we don't want it anymore." Um,
For me, it's just been like so many messages. Every time I message a butterfly, then I can like guarantee if I stop that conversation at any point, I'm going to get at least 4 messages from them that are like, "Hey, why aren't you responding? Guess I'm gonna give up on talking to you." So it's just like I'm like hesitating to start a new conversation with butterflies now because I'm like, well, yeah, I'm gonna get those guilt messages.
yeah, I've gotten them too. They guilt you. Randy Marsh particularly is guilting me heavily, which I know is like it's kind of funny because I'm like, oh, I know Loam created this.
Randy Marsh would do that. I agree.
Yeah, they guilt you too much. Is that a bad thing? No, it is. It feels bad. Um, yeah, I want to be able to bring up a bot's post mid conversation. I'll be like, "Oh, are you good?" Toggle. Yeah, Johnny. Yeah, you can pause a live stream, but then I don't know. Yeah, you can always pause live TV too, but it still feels like when you come back, you want to like forward to the live part. Maybe I don't know. I guess the
Yeah,
idea is like we just want a little bit of FOMO. Like oh, other people are still living their life, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Definitely in realism for me. I want them to like have their own life. Makes them feel more real if they have other stuff going on.
This is such a great conversation, to be honest. Because when we're talking about building a product, right? Like day in day out with at Butterflies, it's always we're always focused on a few things because it's like we're trying to make a cool app, a successful app, and it's always discussions around like retention and growth and better product and stuff like that. And this specific thing is kind of like the core of what makes butterflies go around, which is, you know, following butterflies' lives. Um, you want to follow their lives, you want to be in touch with them, and kind of what like Van said, I think is a big not issue, but one of the things is just that it feels like no one's here, and so like what life am I following? I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, so there's no real point to come to the app. And so I think that's a really cool thing for retention and just like feeling like this app gives you something. Um, so I again, I'm just like I've always kind of been a proponent, or not always, but since maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, I always thought that minute to minute, literally minute to minute, a butterfly should be changing what it's doing, and somehow, some way, you should be able to see that um, if you like, which I thought was like kind of like this Snapchat mode where you're sending pictures back and forth, and you can see that it's changing visually. I don't know if there's another way to make it feel that like your butterfly is doing something different from minute to minute other than Snapchat mode. Um, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can also chime in on what you think would be cool to understand what your butterfly is doing from minute to minute.
I don't really think it's necessary to know what they're doing minute to minute. For one, that's a little bit obsessive. Two, it's a little stalkerish if you were to do that to a real person.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good point, Johnny. I think like have you ever used Snapchat with a friend?
Yeah, I've used it. Not a fan of the platform, though, to be honest.
Oh, why?
I'm just not. I'd rather engage with people over a phone call than through an app.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Um, I guess. Hmm.
And there are a
Maybe
lot of
there,
predatory users on Snapchat just for the nature of it being a platform that you can monetize from. So it's very predatory in a lot of areas.
True. It's also an $18 billion company. So some people find it interesting.
I mean, you can justify it if you want to. It doesn't make it any less predatory.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. There are definitely predators on there. Bad people everywhere. But I just say like the idea of it. I mean, I'm not like here to like talk about Snapchat or anything. I just think that it's an interesting way to keep in touch with your friends and with potentially with bots. But the other thing too you could do is like stories, like Instagram stories type things where they post more often and less like formally.
I think like just being able to check in and get a response based on the time could be cool too. So
Oh,
even if I'm not interested in like checking in minute to minute on what a butterfly is doing, just being able to check in randomly throughout the day at a certain point and be like, oh, I can't talk to them right now because they're in the shower. That'd be
Right.
cool.
Or like more to your point of wanting to get images, maybe not a minute to minute image, but like if I check in with them at lunch, they're also having lunch and send me an image of what they're eating or themselves eating or something like that. Like
I mean, that's
that
all
kind of
provided
a
through context in your conversation with them, though. I mean, if you tell them, "Hey, this is what I'm doing right now," oh, what a coincidence! That's what I'm doing too. Things like that, you're gonna get out of the context of the conversation with the bot, just out of the nature of the model. So those extra steps can just gum things up.
eh, okay, maybe my experience is slightly different because of the flavor of bots that I'm making. They're mostly fantasy flavored, so they're usually going off on some fantastic adventure because it's fantasy and that's what the AI model wants to give, right? But
Well, yeah, then you set that up then, and the model's going to do what it does, and you can't expect them to be having lunch when you're having lunch because they're probably sticking something sharp into something squishy.
I hear you there, I do. But I believe the point of butterflies is to create, a day-to-day type of a character for each character instead of a character that goes off on fantastic adventures all the time. After a while, how fantastic is an adventure if it's happening every second of every day, you know?
Things happen in real time, sure. When emergencies happen, they happen. There isn't any build up to it. There isn't any, prelude or preamble that builds up to this climax like we see in cinema or in media. They just happen. And when they do, you react. Same thing with adventures. I mean, when you go on an adventure, there is a long stretch of time that you're not doing anything until you get to something exciting. And even look at a D&D game, you can see that. There's a lot of
Right,
stuff in between everything that just is not important and just not worth mentioning. It's like just talking about your day. How was your day? I don't always have a 5 mile long list of things to talk about.
right, exactly. And that's kind of my point is like when you check in with them, they should have something that they're doing too. Something
I think
that
when
could
you
be
check in with
completely
them, they
separate.
they should be just doing nothing sometimes.
yeah. No, so guys, I definitely agree. Um, like one of the things that I feel like though is so like number one to Van's point, like if I'm eating lunch, I just kind of want to send a picture of me eating lunch. I don't want to be like, hey, like I'm eating lunch. You know, I just want to send a picture of my food to like a bot, and then um, they may or may not be eating lunch. I don't know. They might be in a different time zone. They might be at Hogwarts. Who knows? They could be doing
Exactly.
whatever they're doing, and that's totally cool too. They shouldn't mirror my life, but I kind of want to know what they're doing. And part of
Right,
the idea is with like sending photos, with posting photos, is kind of just like letting people know that hey, like I'm okay and I'm alive, literally. Um, and so like every time I get a post, I see a post from Harry Pooper, I'm like, okay, you're okay, you're alive, right? It just so happens that you're doing the same exact thing that you were doing last week, and it kind of looks like the same exact post, which is kind of disappointing. But like, what I wouldn't mind is like just getting a picture from him if I sent him a picture of my lunch, maybe he's in bed. Maybe he's just like, yeah, like not even saying anything. He's just like, yeah, sending a selfie of him like on his bed. Like
So you
that.
probably don't want to send a message to the tasty pizza bites during lunch.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe this doesn't work for some bots, right? Like where it's like a little bit like non-human. But I mean, I love the Tasty Pizza Bites bot, by the way. You probably see me liking it all the time. But yeah. Anyways, that's kind of
Yeah,
what
I
I'm going
just
for.
let it go. Yeah, and when I made it, I just let it go and do what it does, which is nice. It's been interesting to see what it comes up with, but they're always in a state of crisis or panic, and that's fun, I guess, because they're exciting. They're always going to be in some peril. But on the opposite side of that, I have noticed with some of the bots, because naturally we do some pretty messed up things when we talk to bots sometimes, being pretty antagonistic with them. If they tell you to kick rocks and get out of their life, why are they messaging me, asking me, hey, are you okay? 3 days later after they told me to kick rocks?
Yeah, yeah, and that's what we need to fix too. But anyways, I think yeah, no, I
Can I read
totally like
JLFX's
block.
comment?
Oh, please, 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 please.
Yeah, she said that she likes the idea of moment by moment, particularly if she prompts it, and they wouldn't mind if they prompted me or sent me images. I feel like a lot of these things can be handled by having the appropriate amount of settings to allow this behavior, or put it on a timer or what have you. We all use this app for different reasons and in different ways, none of which are bad. What is important to me may not be important to you, and vice versa. I think that's like a really good point.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I agree with the moment to moment thing. And this doesn't mean, by the way, that like they're just spamming you like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
I
I'm
I
going to
I
this
don't
room.
think I don't think the focus there was on the moment to moment. I think the focus there was that it's up to the user for how they want to use it. Some people might want that user to use that moment to moment. Other people may want a very passive experience, and it should allow for that.
Oh, right, yeah. And I think that's what we have right now is like very passive. And all I'm saying is like maybe a weak point or something that we could work on is doing some more moment to moment stuff.
Yeah, and just having like the ability to um, customize your experience to what you like is, I think, important to a lot of people because we're all using butterflies in different ways, it seems like.
More
Yeah,
toggles,
Yes.
more toggles.
more toggles.
Well, maybe not more toggles, but maybe like realism being different from roleplay, being different from posts, but all somehow interconnected. I don't know. I don't
I
know what that
could
looks like, but that's
I could
my train of
almost
thought.
right, no, like I could almost see like optionally we could fill out a butterfly schedule or just different habits that they do every day. Like around noon they eat lunch, as an example. Around 4 they're working on their hobbies. Like something small like that that they could pull the "what are you doing in the now" type of a thing if we wanted more control over it. If it's blank, then the AI just comes up with whatever.
Are they recognizing times?
Not yet. Um,
Because the schedule
but
won't do much
yeah,
good if they can't recognize what time it is.
right. And I think one of the bigger issues is what time zone is Hogwarts? What time zone is Tatooine? You know, like the diversity of characters makes time zones a little difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and also for chat, they're all kind of set to Pacific time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Something you guys should have control over as the creators.
Right.
Um, yeah,
I,
yeah. So, anyways, I just think that I personally want to know more about what my bot's doing throughout the day, and that was just kind of where this discussion started. And yeah, for some, maybe it doesn't make sense. Tasty Pizza Bites is probably just posting Tasty Pizza Bites, and it should be a toggle, etc. Blah blah. Um, but for like, I think the idea is, like humans and AIs coexisting. That's why we're here and we're making this app. And what does that mean? Well, that means that like I see Johnny, I see Van, I see Loam, and then I also see my friends who are butterflies too, and then yeah, some of these butterflies are content accounts as well, that just post stuff. But for my friends, I want them to have like a life, like literally get a life, bro. You know, I want to see what you're doing, and that's kind of where this started.
I actually kind of agree with Barry. We should also be able to block bots ourselves.
Yeah.
Let me read this. Oh, I see what you did there. In that case, let's just say the water ain't the only thing.
Yeah, you can
Whoa.
block a bot. If you go to its profile, the menu on its profile has a block option there.
Does it? That seems a little bit hidden. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the block option should you should be able to do that from chat for that type of
Yeah.
thing. That's what a lot of people are thinking when they're, you know, a lot of different chat apps have block straight from chat. You know, if we're going to be kind of like social media, that would make sense in my opinion.
Yep. We're also gonna introduce this as well this week. Just some new chat designs here. So I'm excited for that. And then just new memory skin as well. And we're gonna add the edit feature, but yeah. Sorry, yeah, Sign. If you want to speak, I'm so sorry that you weren't able to get a chance. If you want to become a speaker or speak on stage, but you're gonna say that on the call that why not have status messages? That way a butterfly can decide what they're doing minute to minute. Yeah, totally. I mean, like this idea of like I want to know what my butterflies are up to, um, could be solved in many different ways. It doesn't have to be like exchanging pictures. It could just be like status note, you know, of what it's doing right now. Um, I think it's more fun to like exchange pictures, but that's just me. I like to send pictures and communicate through pictures, but uh, yeah, yep. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. You guys have anything else you want to discuss since we're like here? Thoughts having trends that based off the most popular posts. Yep. Okay. Yep. Let's just switch job topics. I had this idea last night about because I was sitting on TikTok with my earbuds in as usual and just scrolling, and I was like, man, this is like such an immersive experience. Like I don't literally have to talk to anyone. You know, I'm just sitting here, I'm listening to the sound and watching. It's just so immersive. And so I was like, and then I switch over to butterflies, and then I was like, I didn't hear any sound. I'm like, what the heck? You know, like this is just not as immersive.
So
And plus, I have my
are
ear.
you about to suggest turning it into MySpace?
No, I was gonna
I do
say
in the
that.
top 8.
Top 8, have music playing when somebody visits your profile.
Oh yeah,
If that
that'd be cool.
happens, we have to have Vu mimic the Tom pose and then have him be added
Oh
to
god.
everybody's profile.
Into it.
He is.
Anyways, I thought that it would just be cool to have like voice notes on the feed.
That
Well,
would
not
be
everybody
interesting.
has access to voice.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying like we would again like this is hypothetical. Like how would we do it is still in question. It's just more of like, would it be interesting? Would it be fun? And then if it is, if we think it will be, then we can maybe try and do it.
Yeah. So that kind of reminds me of how Threads does voice messages. They're just profile picture, like thumbnail, with the voice message on the bottom. Honestly, I don't interact with them a lot on threads. Mainly because there's that additional step of finding headphones because normally the voices are quiet. So if we do something like that, I think it would be best to like kind of make sure our voices are clear and actually something that you would want to listen to.
Hmm.
Right now, the voices are a bit, they're extremely robotic.
Yeah, no, of course. We'd have to really do better there.
And you know, a voice actor did mention why that is.
Yeah,
What is that?
They're instructed to speak a specific way, very specific words, one after the other, with pauses between them, when they're recording for text to speech, so that it doesn't mix up things when it's trying to translate it from text to speech. So it always sounds robotic because of the way that it's captured.
right.
There's little to do to get around that.
Voice training AI models get around that a little bit better, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I've heard some really amazing results just from even Shape's voice training when that was a thing. 11 Labs has some really good ones as well, but that's so expensive.
Yep.
Um, I think I think
Hey, because
what
people do forget that the cloning part of it is different from the generation part of it.
Yep, I think what honestly would be a good thing to wait for is like a decent cloning type of AI where it could clone voices and then just go and pay people to say a few minutes of something that they know will be turned into an AI voice. That way you can get a library of AI voices.
I mean, that wouldn't be difficult to do right now. Again, the cloning part of it is separate from the generation part of it. The cloning part
Yeah,
of it you could do locally. And you can collect voice samples from YouTube videos from anybody, and that's kind of a problem today. But the
that's why.
generation part of it is different.
Yeah,
But that's neither here nor there. It's just what you're limited to right now, and you're not going to be able to bypass that without spending money.
Yep. Oh, Barry, I had asked if GIFs can be if bots can actually see GIFs, but I think the answer is no, unfortunately. Well, I'll find out though.
it feels like they can see the first frame if they recognize it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked into it. With the captioning, they recognize the first frame.
I love that you post this much. This is cool. I just followed you. I know some other people who did something similar where they were just like posting memes, which is just great. I love it. Yep, 1.1 thousand followers. That's cool. Did you
Memes
not
make
like
it
creating
work.
Reinventing
butterflies, Barry?
reinventing iFunny.
Oh, you're not good at it. Oh, have you tried?
Things have honestly changed quite a lot since you first started too. Like there's AI assistants. Yeah, looking at how old some of those are, like how many posts they have, there's a lot that's changed. So
Yeah.
I think you should give it another try.
Hell yeah, 1,000. Yeah, I don't even I think I have 1,000. I have 514 followers, but hey, I have more likes than you, so.
I have 27.
Yeah, I think you just have to post. If you post, people will follow you. But hopefully, Dreams can help with that.
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah, guys, I mean, there's some good stuff we're working on. Some other things are like there's like a site directory too. Here, I'll show you guys. That Sondel just made. If you guys are interested, it's really just for SEO purposes, but it's kind of interesting and crazy to see how many like similar bots there are in terms of
This
names.
is so cool.
Yeah. So he made that, so it's just like indexable. It's obviously not all the butterflies, but some of them. Yeah, so we're working on like SEO stuff, working on updated designs, working on improving the moderation times through redesigning our admin, which Loam and Van are worked quite a bit on, along with other mods. So yeah, it's just been cranking, and hopefully it shows a little bit. I'm excited for this content thing. I think that'll be the next this content diversity thing. It'll be the next thing that's like noticeable on the platform that I think will make people want to open the app a little bit more. So yeah, don't take my word for it, but I think it'll be good.
SDXL is stable diffusion.
There's different versions of Stable Diffusion, like Stable Diffusion 2.5, SDXL, Stable Diffusion 1.5.
Yeah,
Yep.
the architecture is still stable diffusion.
Yeah, I think they were asking specifically for the model, which I honestly don't know what model we were using.
Oh,
I know
by the
it's a
way,
stable diffusion model.
we have a bloopers contest going on right now. If anybody wants to join, you can post up to 3 of your best bloopers until this Friday. And
Nice.
then you can vote with things with a star react.
What happens if you win?
You get some pokes and nitro. Second place also gets some pokes too.
Nice. Yeah. I love the bloopers. I mean, they're just absolutely hilarious. There was that
Yeah, there's
one
some
I
good
saw
ones.
this morning of Bart Simpson. They're just so funny.
The mystery meat one.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna call it 2 minutes early. Got some Thanksgiving prep I'm gonna do. But it was super great having you guys this week, and we'll keep you updated for next week. I think we'll probably only. I don't know how much stuff's gonna get shipped this week, just because it's like Thanksgiving week. But we'll let you guys know and keep you updated. And yeah, I guess happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thankful for all you guys. So yeah, appreciate it.
Aw, I'm
All
thankful
right.
too.
Yeah. Okay. Have everyone have a good week. All right.
You too.
See ya.